Call to order meeting of the Finance Committee for Thursday, May 15, sorry about that, 2000, let me put on some glasses. May 15, 2025. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everyone for joining us. I'd like to thank the public for showing up. I'd like to thank everyone at home for watching. Same crowds here as usual. A little bit of crowd control. Couple announcements to start with, the same announcements I make all the time. This meeting is being shown live on SMAC and recorded for future internet access and viewing entertainment. And don't forget to silence your phones. There's a little switch on the side. Hopefully you can find that. And with that, we will get to the agenda. We are here to, yes, Dave.
Yeah, I'd like to make a point of personal privilege, if you don't mind. The agenda is very, very limiting, so that's why I'm using a point of personal privilege in that I'd like to ask if it's okay for a subsequent meeting to tonight. Now, I know that we often have transfers. I haven't seen whether or not we are this year. We typically do. I know that 9 times out of 10 we're going to have to do transfers. But that on that agenda, or without transfers, that we have a standalone agenda that covers financial policies as well as revenue, that I would bring the material needed to make sure that everybody has what they need in order to discuss those matters.
Let me look into that a little bit. Wow, this microphone's really loud. Let me look into that a little bit. That's not really a personal privilege point, but let me look into what we can do on that. Okay, let's get back to the agenda. We're going to approve the minutes of November 7. Do we have any changes that are needed on that? I looked at them, I didn't see anything, so I'm looking for a motion to approve the minutes of November 7. Yes, Arnie. Okay, then we're going to look for a motion to approve the minutes of November 7th, 2024. Do we have a motion to do that? Mark?
Yeah, I make a motion to accept the minutes of November 7th, 2024.
Okay, do we have a second on that? Second that. Okay. Okay, any discussion on that? Arnie? Yes, everyone, reminder, thank you, Cynthia, for that. Be sure to use the mic so everyone at home can hear what we're talking about.
Okay, can you hear me all right? I'd like to find out who this guy, Mr. Feinstein, is. Yeah, it's on page 1, in the middle, approximately, and this guy is on page 2, under number 4, cash-free policy. And I think that's it.
Okay, where's Mr. Feinstein in this? Item 2, item 1, item...
Page 2,
Page 2.
section 4, free cash policy, directly under the title.
Okay. Oh, Mr. Feinstein, okay, all right. So he wasn't here that night, is that what you're saying?
Oh, he was, but he had a different name.
Okay. Okay, so there's a motion, are you making a motion to change?
I'm making a motion to change Mr. Feinstein to Mr. Feinberg in both cases.
Okay, all in favor of that? Do we have a second? Okay, is everyone all right that? Okay, all in favor? Good.
Which one, on page 2?
On page 2, I found the one on page 1.
On page 2, section 4, cash-free policy. Yep.
Point of order, real quick.
Yes.
Could I ask procedurally that we go through all the changes? If somebody has a problem with the change, they can voice it during the ask of a change, and then we can vote
All
as
the
amended.
changes.
We
We
can
can
just
do
make
that.
one vote to amend.
That sounds good, Dave. Okay, so page 2, section 4, Feinstein isn't, or was here, but with a different name. What's the other spot?
page 1,
Okay, page 1.
approximately midway down, slightly lower than midway down. Also, Mr. Feinstein should be Mr. Feinberg.
Oh, okay, yeah, section 2. Okay, anything else from anybody on November 7th?
Okay,
Diane?
page 2. Chet's last name is spelled incorrectly. It should be an S at the end instead of, and I crossed
Page
it out,
2.
so I don't even know. It's the third line down on page 2.
Can I just make a quick comment? I don't know if I should make it now or make it later, but my name is misspelled, my first name, throughout the whole thing, so I don't know if I could just,
Okay, well, let me do this one, and then
That's
we'll go
fine.
through and find yours.
Okay, we're gonna find Chet's name in here somewhere, though.
Oh, it's on page 2,
I don't have it. on-
third line down.
Okay, what section's it under? Section
What's
2, section 3?
Section is it under? It's actually section 2, last paragraph in section 2.
Of course I dropped it.
Oh, yeah, he's not Mr. Calling?
Yeah, Mr. Colley. And the last thing on page 3, the second to the last paragraph.
Okay, what section's it in? Because I'm not looking at individual pages.
I don't know if this is any section at all. What's
Okay,
the,
what name is it then that we're looking for?
it's under 4,
Under 4,
all the way down, second to last paragraph.
yeah.
After discussion, Ms. Dolan recommended taking no action on item
Should be
5.
no instead of not?
Well, it shouldn't say recommended not action, it should say recommended
Recommended no
taking
action.
no action. Oh, Jonna, you only have one N in your name, right?
Okay, is everyone good with November 7 after that?
Correction on page 3, where it said Ms. Lyons asked for a vote on scheduling a meeting
Yep.
with regard to discussing policies, and you responded that some members of the committee were not comfortable voting absent written information to review, and I suggested using the MMA Finances Association policy. It was really the Government Offices Finance, Government Finance Offices Association, presented by the Finance Association. So it's the
I
government.
think it's the ATFC,
Yep.
not the MMA.
It's the GFOA, which
Yes,
stands for
but-
Government Finance Officers Association. That's the gold star policy.
GFOA presented at the MMA, is that?
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
Yeah, one point. It's
At the
not,
ATFC.
it's not the MM.
At the
Finance
ATFC.
Association, it's the Association of Town Finance.
The ATFC. Okay, so Ms. Lyons suggested GFO presented at the ATFC. You good with that, Lisa?
With the correction Dave just added.
What was the part Dave added?
Go ahead, Dave.
When you said MM Association, it's not the Massachusetts Municipal Association. Their group is called the ATFC.
That's what I just said.
You just,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Ms. Lyons suggested GFO presented at the ATFC. Everyone's good with that?
that's what they did.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Everyone good with November 7 with those changes, with those amended changes? Except for Jonna's name is spelled wrong. Everything.
No,
Oh, can you just show me one example, so I know what I'm looking for? Yeah.
At the top where it lists all of us, she's
Yep.
at the end of the...
right at the top where
Oh,
it
there's
says
only
who's
supposed to be
present.
one N, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the changes, the amendments we have here are, We're going to change Feinstein to Feinberg on pages 1 and 2, sections 2 and 4. Everywhere, Jonna is going to become Jonna with one N. Diane, we're going to change Calling to Collins, section 2. And you're going to recommend taking no action on page 3 or whatever. Section 3 or whatever. Yep. And Ms. Lyon suggested GFOA presented at the HFC. Okay, those are all the amendments on this. Do we have a motion to accept all the amendments?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of November 7th
With the amendments?
with the amendments.
Okay, second on that, Carolyn, okay. Okay. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, that's 11-7.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for January 8th, 2025.
Okay. We have a second on that? Okay, 1/8/25.
Yeah, let me find my,
Do we have any amendments on there?
just hang on one. I need to bring it up. Okay, I have all mine electronically. January, what's the date?
8.
Okay, I do have, when it's,
Okay, what do you have, Dave?
okay. I don't have page numbers.
Perfect.
So you're going to have to.
Oh, that's
bear with
great.
me.
I don't want page numbers anyway. I don't have
All
pages
right.
either.
Well, let's go, if you want to call these paragraphs.
What
where-
section? 1, 2, 3?
Section. Section 3.
Okay.
So it's near, okay. Most of the document is 3.
Mhm.
So you have to go near the bottom. I'll say second to the last paragraph, for lack of a better description of what paragraphs really are. But when you get into the middle of that paragraph, okay, you start with Johnny Anzavino at 25 Ross Avenue. I'm not sure if you can see.
Yep, I see it. Mr. John Anzavino, 25 Ross Ave, said he served the chair of the independent working group. Yep.
And then if you go to the third, 3 lines down from that, Mr. Lurie made a motion.
Okay.
Or maybe it doesn't because I'm adding, all right, so I'm taking out, I'm taking out, instead of dissolve the committee, it's, Mr. Lurie made a motion to dissolve the working finance committee. Oh, no, taking out the word working, to dissolve the finance committee. The word working is improper, so I want that removed.
Made a motion to dissolve.
Yeah, I don't have the original, I just have the edit. So if you see,
Mr. Lurie made a motion to dissolve. What did he make a motion to dissolve? The finance committee?
all right, hold on. I'll find it from your original here. January.
I don't think you want to dissolve the fine.
If I remember correctly, he made a motion to dissolve the meeting or adjourn the meeting or something.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Said Mr. Lurie made a motion to dissolve the working committee. It was to dissolve the finance committee, not the working committee.
The finance committee meeting.
Well, you can add the word meeting if you like, and that's fine. I'll accept
I don't
that.
know, I don't think you'd
I'll
made it.
accept that. I didn't
I'm
use-
kind of guessing here. I don't think you would have dissolved the finance committee. Okay, so we're going to change that section to Mr. Lurie made a motion to dissolve the finance committee meeting. Yeah, that was my recollection of it too. Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Let me just add meeting. Fourth line down from there. Let me get there from the original. Mr. Cavey asked for a second on Mr. Lurie's motion. I don't think Mr. Cavey is on the Finance Committee, so I don't see how he could ask for a second.
Well, he was here that night.
He asked for a second, though.
Yes, yeah. guess, yeah.
But I don't think he asked for a second.
Okay.
I think people on the committee asked for a second. I know that he did come in from the public hearing to speak on it.
Okay, what do you want to do on this? Do you want me to watch the video then? And
No,
if-
I would just remove that he asked for that because he didn't do that, and that's fine.
Yeah,
So who seconded that motion? Does anybody have their, I don't have my...
I don't even know if there was a second on the motion.
It did because the motion failed, so it was voted.
It was voted, so somebody seconded.
Okay, do you want me to watch the video then? And whatever I find in the video, is everyone good with that? I can just watch the video. And if Mr. Cavey actually did ask for, and then if somebody seconded, I'll just write it in there. I mean, if you're good with that, we can do that. I mean, Mr. Cavey might have asked, I don't know, that part I'd have to verify.
I could help you with that too, if you want.
Do you have, are you all set, Dave?
No, I have one more.
You have one more?
Yeah,
Okay.
keep going down to the last paragraph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh line up from the bottom. Mr. Lurie added that the next elementary school will be the Wilkins, I want to strike the word Wilkins and OMS. It should be read, elementary school will be the OMS and will have to be done as well.
Hang on a second. You want to have Mr. Lu?
Wilkins
You
removed.
want to change that to that? The OMS is not in elementary school.
Well, we can, the next school, we can take the word elementary. The next school, we can strike
So
elementary.
what are we going to have, Mr. Okay, let's see. Okay, Mr. Lurie added. Are you making notes on this, Diane? Perfect. So what do you want it to be?
So strike elementary, that the next school, added the next school, it would have to be next school project, because it doesn't make sense unless you put context.
Well, we're not really looking for what makes sense. We're looking for what happened. I mean, a
Well,
lot of stuff.
it was the project.
We're
you
not
know.
gonna rewrite
The next
history.
school project, the next school project will be the OMS and will have to be done as well.
Next school project will be OMS.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. Mr. Lurie added that the next school project will be the OMS,
Period. Yeah, period, right?
and then strike the rest of the sentence.
Yeah, you're saying the next school wouldn't be at Wilkins because, okay, the next school project will be OMS. Okay.
I'm just trying to streamline it so that even if it's not a perfect script of what happened, I'm good with it, you know?
Lauren?
Just curious, so say you said whatever you're saying, right? But the video's different, isn't that a problem?
I guess theoretically, yes. We would hope that the minutes that would be. I'm going to guess that that section there would be right near the end and the meeting adjourned at 10:50. Oh, okay. Oh, the Steve section? Okay.
While he's watching that,
Okay, so anything else on January 8th?
Yes, one.
I think you have page numbers, so let me see what section. I think it's section 3 goes on forever, right?
Yep.
And can I just interject for a second?
We're gonna go one by one. We're not gonna all be,
Sorry.
okay, so Diane, what is your,
It's just, I have it, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs up from what Dave just said. Mr. Lurie said the MSBA only considers extraordinary buildings. I just want Rolls-Royce as a brand name.
okay, if that's what was said, that was what I said.
No, I'm saying that.
Oh, you want to capitalize roles?
Like capitalized roles. It appears somewhere else too, in one of the other minutes.
So capitalize the R?
Yep. Did you find what you were looking for?
Lisa, did you have something on?
Yeah, just real quick, on page 2, on the second paragraph, the last sentence, it says, she said the final price of the new school is outrageous. And what it says is, what it should say, and the taxpayers are fatigued.
Instead of she is, it should say the.
Right. Even though it is fatiguing.
Okay, I don't know what section we're in.
So it's the second paragraph on page 2. Tell me when you get there.
Oh, I'm not on page, I'm just scrolling through the thing here.
Are you sure you want to say that? Because then,
If it's what
She
happens.
said the
it's what
final
happens.
price of the new school is outrageous, and the taxpayers are fatigued with taxation.
okay, so you want to get rid of the end of the line, attempts to protect the taxpayers?
But, well, I want to get rid of where it says, and she is fatigued, because it's the taxpayers who are fatigued.
Taxpayers are fatigued in attempts to protect the taxpayers.
No, it shouldn't say in attempts to protect the taxpayers. Give a suggestion over there. Go ahead.
So instead of she, taxpayers is what you put in place.
Taxpayers are fatigued in, oh, period. And just strike the rest of the sentence? Yes. Oh, okay, great. Keep it simple. Yep,
Okay, you have that, Diane?
I do. I'm just marking this stuff up.
Okay. Okay, Jonna?
Thank you, Vaughn. I just wanted to point out the same thing about my name in the body being spelled wrong. Okay. So should I bring it up each time or just let it go? It'll be done automatically.
No, we'll just,
Well, I
yeah,
didn't
my name
want
gets
to.
spelled wrong all the time, so I mean, yeah, it happens. Once people spell your name wrong, they'll spell it wrong like that forever, so.
So should I point it out or just let it be and you'll automatically change it?
You can either point it out each time.
Okay.
Or we'll just make a note to change in all of them, or you can change your name. Those are the three options, I guess.
I'll change my name, that's easier.
Perfect, that'd be perfect. Okay, so other than that, you know everything?
You have these electronically, right?
Yeah, you do too.
Yes, I'm sure I do.
Okay.
Just want to make sure. Okay, I'm just going to write
But you're making notes on the actual physical thing there.
the actual physical.
Okay, and then you can let me know, just in case I'm not making the right notes.
Do we have all the edits?
Okay, any other, did you find that thing? Oh, he's looking for the,
Motion to accept the minutes for January 8th, 2025,
okay, is that with these changes? and-
with these changes as,
And what are we doing on the Mr. Cavey thing, though? Yeah, Mark, are you finding that thing?
Guess what? We have Mr. Snack in your look. I wonder if he can look it up.
No, he's not going to be able, he's videoing this meeting here. Okay, so Dave, what do you want to do on the Mr. Cavey thing? Do you want me to verify this if I
well,
watch on
the
the
way,
video?
the way that it happened, it's fresh in my mind, is that I made a motion, it got seconded by the Finance Committee, and that's when the public came up and made comments about what happened. That's how it played out.
Oh, John,
Yeah, and the video will bear that out. That's,
On
you
the-
you don't
on-
want to take my word for it, I accept whatever you want to do.
On the video, all I've heard so far is that, yes, there was a second, but no, there's no voice or heard of the second. And then Carolyn says that there wasn't a second because the chairman didn't ask for a second, so then it went into.
oh, then we went back and forth for a little bit, and
Yeah,
then we just called for
that's
the
where
vote.
I'm in now, is the
Oh,
back and
okay, so
forth
you're
of
almost
all
at that point
So
there.
I don't know who the true second was, even listening to it, at the very moment.
Okay, we can just say the motion was seconded. You want to put that? Everyone,
It's either that or call up Mr. Cavey
yeah,
and ask
the
him.
motion was seconded. Okay, you want to take Mr. Cavey, ask for a second out, is that what you're saying? And just, motion was seconded? We can only assume that because, There was a vote. Okay. You good with that, Dave?
That we're going to do what?
We're going to take out Mr. KVS for a second and just
We're
put
going
motion
to
with
take
second.
it out, you're editing it out the way I asked for it.
You asked for that. I'm asking you if you're okay with that.
That's what I'd like to, that's what I asked for originally, right? To do that.
That's the way I understood what you asked
That's,
for.
if you're accepting my edit, that's great.
Carolyn, are you good with that? Because I know you mentioned, okay. Okay, so take out that, which is motion with second, and then there's a vote, whatever. Okay, good.
So let's have it say, Mr. Lurie's motion was seconded,
Okay,
okay?
okay. Sounds simple, all right.
Vaughn,
Yes, Arnie.
point of order. I'm not sure it's a point of order, just a question for my own knowledge. Is if we find an error after it's approved, does the video become the official? So the minutes are the official.
The minutes of the official, the video is there. Let's say, for example, there's something that's not correct later on. You could always come back and amend them. We're going to be doing that later on another set of minutes.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, it happens, but
Say, we have another meeting anyhow. Why
Yeah.
don't we hold on to these minutes and don't?
So who seconded this motion to accept?
okay, we have a, okay.
Who seconded this?
Hang on a second. Mark's on to something.
Arnie seconds. Arnie second.
So it was seconded, but, okay. Okay, motion was seconded, so we've already clarified it was second, and then the vote. All right, cool. Okay, so we have a, so do we have a motion for this with amendments then?
Dave made the motion. I don't know who did the second. Was it Arnie?
Okay, you got that, Diane? You're trying, okay. Okay, any further discussion on this? Motion and a second, hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none? Okay, that's January 8. There's probably 10 of us here. Okay, next we have February 26.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for February 26, 2025.
Carolyn, second. Okay. Any amendments needed on this? All right. Okay, I was getting ready to say hearing none, you know?
Under five.
Under five amendments or under section
No,
5?
5, Article 14. Pretty close to the end. Ms. Dolan thanked the DPW for lighting in the high school area and asked if research was being done to use solar lighting. I also asked for more light on Adams Street, which I do agree someone's done with.
I'm not surprised. Okay, Ms. Dolan
That high school is a pitch black on Adams Street side.
thanked the DPW. Are you making a note on that too? And asked for more lighting or something?
And asked for more lighting on Adams Street.
Yeah, I think that sounds familiar, actually,
Yeah,
because you say it all the time.
I do.
Okay, anything else on this? Okay, do we have a motion and a second on the amended version, I guess?
I'll make the motion.
You have to make the motion first.
Okay. Okay, on the amendments, right?
Yeah.
We're good? With amendments? Okay, it's only one amendment, all right. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that's 226 done. I don't know. Next, we have two,
Where did Lisa go?
I don't know, I'm not keeping track of where everyone goes, but, I mean, maybe she,
9 to 0 to 0. Okay.
maybe she had to go somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, February 27.
Donna, I did write your name on the top.
Okay, February 27.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of February 27th, 2025.
Okay. Okay, any amendments on this?
Hold on 1 second, I gotta find, here we go. February 22nd.
Any double N jhanas, we'll just switch to single N jhana?
I wrote it on the top.
Okay, oh, perfect, okay, on all of them, all right.
Anybody got any?
Okay, no changes on this? Okay, motion to second, all in favor, as is?
Aye.
Okay.
Who made the motion?
Mark, Carolyn seconded. Okay. She maybe needed a break. Next, we have March 5.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of March 5th, 2025.
Okay, who was that?
Okay, any changes needed on this? Any amendments needed?
I do. I'm not sure if anyone else does, but I do. Gotta find mine.
Okay, Dave, what do you got on this?
Oh, hold on. No, I take, this is March 5th, right?
I call it March 5, but you might call it March 5th, but, okay.
Tomato, tomato. March 5, all right, edited, okay. Take someone next, I'll come back to me, please.
Okay, any other amendments needed? Arnie, March 5.
Page 4, the very last paragraph, paragraph 8.
Okay, what section are we in? Article number
That's
or?
annual town meeting articles.
It's Article 34.
Article 34, police station misspelling.
Okay.
What change did you want to make?
He's
Oh,
changing
I want to
the
change the word,
Polsey to police station.
yes.
Yeah, section 8. It's item 8, down, it's like down the very bottom.
Article 34, right after.
Yeah, it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on 3.5? Okay, hearing none. Looking for a motion a second on the amended version here. We're changing Polsey station to police station, and we're changing double N Jonna to single N Jonna, if there's any in there. Okay, second,
Second.
Mark. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none. Okay, we're going to go to March 6th.
I make a
Okay.
motion to accept the minutes from March 6th, 2025.
Okay,
6
6.
or 6, depending on which way you want to do it.
Call it March 6. On my calendar, there's just a 6, so.
Mark and Carolyn,
Okay, I have an edit when someone,
Okay, Dave, what do you got?
okay, so Article 14, general fund operating budget, town clerk's budget, requested justification for the salary increase with lack of experience.
Who said that? You did?
I did.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm adding those. Let me see here. Hold on one second. Hang on. Let's see the original.
Where exactly are we talking about,
Hold on,
section 2?
hold on, hang on. We'll get there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Lurie
for-
requested justification for the salary increase. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
F under Article 14?
Yeah, but the justification was based on the fact that there was a lack of experience in the hire. So I wanted to hear justification as to why such a large increase. It was basically because
Yeah, so
the full context was the fact that there was always a discount when you got somebody
I do
with
remember you
low,
said that.
with low experience. You typically got somebody with experience leaving, you usually can see a discount. We didn't get that discount, we did the opposite. We went to a large increase for somebody new in the job. Yeah, I just made it simple and just said with lack of experience,
Okay,
but
we're on, okay.
because I didn't want to
article-
get
I'm
into
gonna-
a
I'm gonna
whole
show you.
long dissertation about it.
In Article 2, I see an A, and then we're going all the way down to J. Oh, okay.
We're gonna go, keep going. And we're gonna keep going, and we're right here. Okay. Okay, so Mr. Lurie requested justification for the salary increase, I do remember that. And then, what are we adding then?
Well, I wrote just 4 words with lack of experience, but I embellished on it now so everybody understood what I meant, because
remember.
it went the opposite direction of giving a discount on the cost of a salary instead of,
But the minutes are gonna say, Mr. Lurie requested justification for the salary increase due to,
lack of experience.
okay, that's what we're trying to get to.
That's the only edit I have, by the way.
Okay, you have that, Diane? On the, okay, perfect. Okay, anything else for 3.6? Okay, looking for a motion on the amended, okay. Do we have a second on that? Carolyn, okay. Okay, you want to put Lisa? Put Lisa. Okay. Okay. Diane and Lisa. Okay. Well, you're closer to Lisa, the sound travels at the same speed, so it's a shorter distance. Okay. Motion and a second, all in favor? All opposed? Hearing none. 3.6 is completed with those amendments. Okay, March 12.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for March 12th, 2025.
Carolyn. Okay, we have anything on March 12?
Except, was Mark, who seconded?
Carolyn? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of, we're going to change any Johnnas to Jonna with that change. And other than that, nothing? Okay, all in favor with the Jonna change, that amendment? Do we actually, do we have a motion on the amended with Jonna? I'll make the motion as amended. Okay, second on that?
I'll second.
And, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's 312. Yes,
Nobody said no, nobody abstained.
correct, right. 312, the only change is Jonna to Jonna. It might not be in there. If she's not in there, I'm just saying if she
I
is.
just don't see 312 in that March 30th email. Oh, maybe it's down here.
Yeah, it just kind
Which
of,
one is it?
it's kind of there.
Oh, it's the last one.
Okay, we're on the 13th.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for March 13th, 2025.
Carolyn. Okay, and then, the only thing I saw on this one was, the meeting was adjourned at 10:30. We just need to take the dollar sign out.
Okay, the only thing I saw, I told you, was, for those of us who have, it's on page 5, it's 22, Article 26. There was a motion made and seconded, but it was not listed,
Where are you talking about?
the one I showed you. Article 28, ladder truck for the fire department. The motion passed 13 yes to 0 no, but there was no, like every other one where it says someone made the motion and
Okay.
someone seconded the motion, there isn't anything in there. I brought my books up, I'm sure. Wrote that down. What's that you're mumbling? What were you saying? On the last page, on page 5.
Okay, we could probably find that quick on the video. It's the very end,
I'm sure we could find that.
right?
Does anybody remember?
I see what you mean. Yeah, it's right at the end, right before Cedar Hill, after police capital budget. Yeah, you just want to know who made the motion on the ladder truck, which should be right near the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Mark
some reason, I'm thinking John made it. On Article 28, ladder truck, which is at the very end of the meeting, right before Cedar Hill, there's a motion for the fire truck, the ladder truck, I think is the correct term. There's a motion on that. It passed 13-0. And Diane's asking, who made the motion? I'm guessing John Walsh did.
Everything else, it should have who made the motion and who seconded the motion.
Because he commented the useful life of a truck.
Yeah, but just to verify, we're on March 13th, that's what we're on,
We're on
correct?
March 13. Item 22. Yes, thank you, Caroline.
Article 28.
Yeah, because it says, John Walsh commented useful life of these trucks is 30 years, and this truck has passed that time frame. The motion passed 13 yes to 0 no.
I couldn't believe when he said at town meeting, it's going to take 4.5 years to get the new truck. It's going to take 4.5 years to order that new truck.
Well, I always call the minutes kind of like a synopsis of a party. Like if we all went to a party, this is my crazy theory on this. If we all went to a party, stuff happens at the party. We're not going to get into specifics like, you know, Diane ate 3
no,
potato
I'm not
chips.
gonna- I'm
It's
not
just kind of a
I was
general.
just commenting, whoever did these did a good job.
I think Diane's hoping to get a specific name. I think Mark's going to find it right now.
Everything else has who made the motion and who seconded it.
Okay, do you want to come back to?
He's been doing them all.
I have an edit, if you want me to go to me, or...
Yeah,
You wanna
Dave,
go
what do you
to-
have on 313?
This is a very small one. All right, so Article 31, number 9, Article 31.
Article 30.
I'm not going to try to steer you to it, but if you can find it, it's most of the way down.
Article 31, open space recreation plan, yeah?
Correct. Mr. Lurie suggested adding a note explaining the potential for a grant and award from not OCPC, but just CPC. There's no such thing as an OCPC, I don't think. I think there's something close to that, but not that.
Wait a minute, no.
It's something, not OPEB, no, OC,
It's not an award from CPC.
OC something, I don't know.
What article is it, Article 31?
It's Article 31, open space, you just read it, so I thought you were there. That number 9, Article 31.
It's on page 4.
Yeah, he doesn't have them by.
Oh.
Oh, through my letter O? Yeah.
Oh,
It doesn't show it on the email.
No, because I made the edit. Yeah, this is
is
my
that
edit
Article,
of the
Article 31,
amendment.
Dave? Is that what you're saying?
Article 31, open space and recreation plan. It's number 9 on the list of things we did, but Article 31.
Article
My sentence was at the bottom of that article, Mr. Lurie suggested. The last acronym at the end has an extra letter in it.
Oh, so you're saying it's not OCPC?
It's just CPC, it's
I'm going to find out who these things are actually from.
Community Preservation Committee.
I don't know that they didn't have a,
Who's
cor-
doing the minutes? Is it still Dolores? No,
yes.
is it?
Article 30.
No?
Okay,
Oh, sorry. I got the motion and the second for the ladder truck. The motion was by Caroline, and the second was by Elliot.
excellent work, Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, we'll put that on.
And now we're going to solve the OC.
I would assume.
Okay, it is OCPC because it's from the Old Colony Planning Council. I just looked it up in that really cool digital book too. Yeah, and it's on page, whatever it is, 141.
I thought the grant came from the CPC.
No, the email says the Open Space Committee just
They have-
received a grant of a
Yeah.
bunch of money to fund the open space plan. This town's match is 32.5, so the motion of the article can be reduced to fund 35 instead of 70. Please make sure your motion addresses this reduced amount. See attached MOU from the Old Colony Planning Council.
Yeah, it's a good catch. I always think of open space grants coming from our very local CPC.
Okay,
That's a
so
good catch.
we're removing your stuff here, and we've added the motion and the second on the latter, and we're changing the dollar sign off at 10:30 because
Okay,
we didn't get
I
paid.
just want to make sure that when I'm adding this, it will say, Ms. Campbell made the motion to recommend Article 28 as submitted to the town meeting, right? As
Is that the
rest-
ladder truck, Article
Yeah.
28?
Seconded by Elliot Hanson. All right, perfect.
Okay, and we're removing the dollar sign and any Jonna to Jonna, all right? Okay, with those changes, do we have a motion with those amended changes? Okay, do we have a second? Jonna? Okay. With one, yeah, let's get that right. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, we're done with 313. Okay, we're going to 319, also called March 19.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for March 19th, 2025.
Do we have, okay, second on that, Carolyn? Okay, any amendments needed on this? Okay, hearing, we're gonna, oh, the Jonna, we're gonna change the Jonna to Jonna, right? Okay, assuming the Jonna's in the two ends.
Mark, you made the motion to accept, right? Carolyn?
Yeah, okay, looking for a motion with the change from Jonna to Jonna and double N to single N. Do we have a motion to approve it with that change? Okay, do we have a second on that? Jonna, second, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that's 319. 320,
I make a motion to accept the minutes of March 20th, 2025.
we have a second on that? Okay. I have an amendment on here, item number 8. It's Mr. Tux. I don't know who Mr. Tux is. I'm guessing it's Ms. Tucker, and the S and the R were flipped around somehow. Unless somebody here knows Mr. Tux, which I think is unlikely.
I didn't even catch that. So who's it supposed to be? Supposed to be Heidi?
Ms. Tucker. Yeah, it's in section 8, under Article 7, down the bottom there. You see it in there? Okay, so we're switching Mr. Tux to Ms. Tucker.
We're talking on 20, right? March 20.
Yes.
I have a change here, too.
Okay, Dave?
Special town meeting, or special May town meeting articles, number 9, the first one. It's the Article 1 deposit to stabilization fund.
Yeah.
The second line, Ms. Lyons asked if this could be done annually, and I don't have any recollection of answering her. It was, I'm guessing, and I have to guess, that it was Mr. Coulter suggested depositing the maximum amount possible as a hedge against 9C cuts. I don't really know that much about 9C cuts, and he does. That's kind of why my inference is that it was him that said that to leave.
Oh,
That interaction was Mr. Coulter, so we can change my name off of it. All right.
so Carolyn, that was Mr. Coulter? Yes, because I asked. Okay. Oh, okay, okay.
But in this one, I'm just making sure, I did ask if it would be done annually because I want
That's
the
in there.
deposit.
Yeah, that's in
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dave didn't
Correct.
answer. Coulter suggested something about that because of 9C cuts. So you know what that is, Diane?
Yeah, we're just changing it to Mr. Coulter instead of Mr. Lurie, correct?
Easy.
Sorry, that's already struck out anyways, Mr. Laurie, isn't it? On my copy it is.
No, that's because you printed my electronic. I gave you the email to print.
Oh, that
That's
was,
why.
that you did.
That's new. And by the way, Carolyn, if you did have this conversation of a question on 9C, did you want to add that? Yeah, I can add it, probably makes more sense. If you want to add, just, you have to give us language as to,
Right before Lori turned to Coulter, Carolyn,
Right after Ms. Lyons asked if this would be done annually?
yes, then Carolyn said something, and she's going to tell you what she said, or at least a paraphrase of what she said. What was that, Carolyn, that you said? Carolyn asked about, yeah, but I mean, okay. Would constitute an emergency, what was the rest of that?
An emergency where you would make a withdrawal from a stabilization fund.
Where a withdrawal from,
Would be made. From a stabilization fund.
okay, so you have that, Diane? Okay.
You didn't ask for a specific one, you just said stabilization.
I asked, yeah, no, from the stabilization account, which was the main one that we were talking about.
Yeah, and that's where we were at that point anyway. So.
That's the one we were talking about.
Okay, anything else for 320? The only changes we have are
Yvonne,
to Jonna, and if that's even in there, from Tux to Tucker, from Mr. Tux to Ms. Tucker, and then from Lori to Coulter, and then Carolyn asked Coulter what would constitute, Mr. Coulter would constitute an emergency or withdrawal, or whatever you wrote down, Diane, right? Okay. Okay, Arnie,
just a minor correction. Article 8, it's right after the sentence where it says, Mr. Coulter said the select.
Article 8?
What page?
Oh, I'm sorry, page,
Article 8 or item 8?
page 2, section 8, Article 7, and it's right after the line where it starts, Mr. Coulter said the select board. The next sentence down to the far right says 5 million. I believe that should be $5 million. There's just a dollar sign missing, and that's all.
Okay, you want to add a dollar sign in there? Okay.
Yeah, yes, please.
Okay, you have that on there, Diane, the little, perfect. Okay. Motion for approval of these minutes with these changes, these amendments that we discussed. Do we have a motion for that? Carol, Diane?
Second.
Okay. Lisa's gonna second? Okay. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? Hearing none, that's 320 is done. And we're on to 326, also called March 26.
I just have one.
Hang on a second.
Motion to accept the minutes of March 26, 2025.
Okay. Any amendments or changes needed on this?
I just have one thing, Vaughn.
Okay.
So I believe it was this meeting, so correct me if I'm wrong. This is the last meeting we had, correct?
No.
Where Diane in here, yeah, you would thank the group as being the last.
Oh, that, okay.
Everybody.
I was gonna say, it's never the last meeting. There's
No,
always
no,
one.
no, I mean, as the three of you. So I know in this, right after Diane spoke and thanked, I made a comment looking to talk about revenue and said that we were going to put it on the next agenda, which I thought was going to be tonight. And can we add that in there, number one? And then I just wanted to read from our charter, C714. It says, "The committee," meaning Finance Committee, "should have the authority at any time to investigate the books, accounts, and management of any department of the town and to employ such expert and other assistance as it may deem advisable for that purpose. And the books and accounts of all departments and offices of the town shall be open to the inspection of the committee and any person employed by it for that purpose." And then it goes on to say, "The committee may appoint subcommittees of its members and delegate to them such powers as it deem expedient." I'm going to skip a bunch of it. And then it also says within there, "They shall also prepare estimates of all probable items of income which may be received by them during the ensuing year in connection with the administration of their departments or offices, and a statement of the amount of appropriation requested by them for the ensuing fiscal year. Such estimates and statements..."
Lisa, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. We're not going to read the whole charter. I mean,
I'm
because
not,
we're-
it's just one more sentence, Ron.
Okay,
It
but-
says, "Such estimates and statements shall be filed with the town manager, who shall at once transmit the same to the select board."
Thank
I'm
you
just
for-
trying to say that I have been very patient asking for this information to
Well,
get
we're in the
on
process
the
of
agenda.
approving minutes, so we're not going to really read the charter. I'm
I know,
familiar with the charter.
but I'm just making a point that on multiple occasions, I've asked for it to be in the agenda, and it's not. So that's a concern, and it's in our
We
charter.
are in the middle of approving minutes. We're discussing 326. Diane thanked people for their service. You had asked about a meeting, asked to have a revenue discussion at a future meeting. Wanna add
Correct.
that? Okay, but we're not reading the charter. We're all done reading the charter.
Right, but
Do
then
we-
it also, Vaughn said he would add it to a future agenda.
Okay.
What-
Do
that
we
was
have any
said as
other
well.
discussion on March 26th? Any other
Yes.
amendments?
I do.
Thank you for letting me read that into the record.
I'm familiar with the charter, but thank you for reading it.
Well,
Dave?
it's important because we're not doing it.
Yeah, Dave?
Okay, thank you, Lisa. I did hear what you said. Number 11, Article 20, deposit to fire apparatus stabilization account. You know, the printout, it shows page number 2. Page number 2, Article 20, which is shown as number 11. I don't know how that comes about, but I guess on the agenda, it must have been number 11. Deposit to fire apparatus.
Yeah.
Stabilization?
115, yep.
In the last sentence to that article, Mr. Lurie asked that a note be attached explaining the minority vote, stating that the no votes were requesting that $2 million be preserved against future, I don't want it to say capital purchase, because it was actually preserved against future borrowing of the ladder truck.
Okay, what article is this one again?
So which words are you changing?
I want to cut out the word capital.
Okay, what
Put in the
article are we
word-
on?
I'm sorry, we're on page 2.
Okay,
It's number 11, but it's Article 20 that I'm referring to,
Article 20, okay.
which is deposit to fire apparatus. Do you have it?
I am going to find
your
the
time, take your time.
actual,
Yeah.
okay.
To be preserved against future borrowing?
Yeah, because with cash,
Yeah,
you
we
have a
had a-
note,
we
you
had
have
a
a
note.
note in the book, Dave, that says
Yeah.
with cash now up to 2.2 million approximately, we will preserve cash instead of borrowing in 4 years.
Instead of borrowing.
Yeah, that's the actual note. that's in
Right,
the
but I'm trying to just do a synopsis in the minutes that just cleanly gets to the same point, because it's just minutes, as you always say. This is a story about a party, not the actual party,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, so the only thing.
Well, we're not going to talk about how many
What's-
chips everybody ate.
What's
okay?
said in Finance Committee stays in Finance Committee, is that what they say?
Sometimes.
Something like that, yeah.
So the only thing we're changing is the word capital to borrowing, correct?
So I just kept it simple, to preserve against future borrowing to,
Future borrowing for capital purchases
Of-
against, To be preserved, to be
I thought it was
preserved.
easy the first time I said it.
Okay,
So
let's hear it again.
against future borrowing
Against future borrowing.
of the ladder truck.
Okay, so you want purchases out of there too?
Yeah. It's not,
Borrowing for the ladder truck?
yeah, just keep it simple, because I think the point's made, right? The point's made, right?
We were trying to get the 2 million into the fund
Yeah,
instead of, so they didn't have the wording of borrowing.
yeah, we not only failed on March 26th, we also failed last night on,
He tried to do it at town meeting, too.
Okay, we're not
May
going to talk
14th.
about that, though. Okay, so it's going to, Diane, you have the against future borrowing for the ladder truck? Perfect. Okay, and any genre changes will happen in here, too?
And I have one more
And then-
change I want to make mention of.
Okay, Dave, you have another one?
so this one, and I'm trying to make sure my changes against what everybody has in front of them. I want to make sure my changes are clear, because I'm changing a little bit more than the last time. So Mr. Lurie remarked is the open of the paragraph. It's the second to last paragraph on the March 26 minutes.
Mr. Lurie remarked that this was the last meeting for himself.
Yeah, and then deeper into that same paragraph, it says, Mr. Lurie emphasized, I believe, let me find it here, Mr. Lurie.
No, you didn't emphasize, you
Oh,
urged,
hang on, no, that's my change, I believe.
and then you
Mr. Lurie-
recommended.
I'm changing it to the word emphasize. Mr. Lurie emphasized,
Okay, so you want to change Mr. Lurie recommended
yes,
to
Mr. Lurie emphasized the importance of financial policies.
Good.
See, it's not the same as the wording, that's why I'm saying it's a substantive change here. I'll just read what I have, okay, and then you match it up against what you say. It says, I'm writing, Mr. Lurie emphasized the importance of financial policies for review and recommendation within the Finance Committee for the benefit of the policy boards to adopt. In this, the context of this, it doesn't say anything close to that. That's
Hang on,
why
just
I need.
start over, Dave, okay?
All
You
right,
want to do
I'll
what
read it
Mr.
again.
Lurie recommended. I'm going to just write it down right now. Mr. Lurie recommended. Or are we taking that out?
This is inserted. This is an inserted added
Well,
paragraph.
I'm just asking you
Added
to state what it is.
And it's one
Okay,
sentence,
say it.
correct. And I'll read it slow.
We're leaving in Mr. Lurie recommended the formation of subcommittees to research issues.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have a problem leaving that in. I just want to add this sentence because the context is lost.
Lurie emphasized,
The importance of financial
Okay,
policies.
stop. Diane's writing it down.
the importance,
Of financial policies. For review. And recommendation. Within the Finance Committee. For the benefit of the policy boards to adopt.
We're good?
I'm good.
Diane, you got all that?
policy board to adopt.
Boards to adopt. It's
Boards with an
plural.
S?
Boards with an S.
More than one board. Okay, any other amendments, changes needed on 326?
Yes.
Free ear piercing. Yes, Jonna?
Okay. On page,
It might be too close to Arnie, just move that, just move the, yeah.
oh, okay. On page 2, where it's under the bucket truck, it says, Ms. Rosenblatt and Ms. Tucker spoke in favor. It should be a period.
It should be what?
A period, not a comma, because the next sentence should be, Ms. Tucker noted the bucket truck is used.
Okay.
It shouldn't be a combined sentence, it should be separated.
Ms. Rosenblatt and Ms. Tucker spoke in favor, noting that the bucket truck is used to hang the banners for holidays and in memory of so-and-so.
That changes what happened. She was the one who noted it, so she should be, it should just say, Ms. Tucker noted blah, 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 blah.
Okay, so,
So hang on.
so a period and then start a new sentence.
Yep, and then just put her name in, Ms. Tucker, and then that's it.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you.
Noted instead of noting
Okay, so,
that the bucket truck is used to hang the banners.
okay, you have that note there?
Thank you.
Diane? Okay.
I do.
Vaughn?
Hang on a second.
Yep.
Okay. Any other amendments, changes to 326? Lisa?
Can I just ask make the announcement after you do this vote?
The announcement of what?
Well, okay, I'll do it now. The MMA
Oh, no,
is
no.
having an introduction to developing municipal policies. It's a webinar on Tuesday, June 3rd. If anybody here, if you can send out an email to the rest of the Finance Committee,
Okay,
learning is good.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll make sure of
I'm
that,
open
Lisa.
to it.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Okay, but back to 326. I thought you had to change, I'll make an announcement on the change. Okay.
All right, I will
So,
make a motion.
perfect.
There we go. Who wants the second?
Okay, you're making a motion to accept with the changes. Diane, motion. Who's the second? Carolyn, perfect. All in favor? All opposed? Hearing none, we are done with 326. Okay, next we have minutes of March 27, 2024. And I'm just going to give the committee a little background on this here. And John, I can explain a little bit. Well,
I didn't get that.
it was approved like a while ago. It's not in that email. It's not, but it was approved a while ago.
Oh, we approved it already?
Oh, we approved it a while ago, yeah. If you want, I was going to kind of give a little background on it, but if you prefer, feel free.
Okay, I'm sorry, these are the minutes of what?
327 from 24. Yeah, and I put it on here to amend these minutes. It's very, very simple.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Vaughn, I appreciate it. Okay, a statement was, one second.
Mark? Yeah, you want to make a motion? Perfect.
Make motion before she discusses.
Oh.
March 27, 2024.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jonna.
Okay. A statement was accidentally attributed to me in the minutes. I brought it up so it could be corrected. It should have been a very simple process, but it turned out not to be. When I asked to attribute the statement to the correct person, because all I did was correct the pronunciation of one of their words for them, it was then decided that that was enough to keep me the author of the statement rather than correct it. I was speechless because that reasoning is illogical. So I just want to state for the record, despite that ludicrous reasoning, it does not make me the author and only perpetuates the original mistake, and I'd just like to have it corrected, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jonna. I'm going to give everyone a little bit of a background on this. These minutes were approved. Jonna, at a meeting after that, had said that she was being attributed a statement that she didn't make. It took a lot of kind of discussion to figure out when that occurred, what the meeting minutes were. Jonna sent me the information. She finally found the exact day when it happened, and then circled the exact statement and all that, and helped me find it, because I'd been trying to find this with her for some time so we could resolve this. It's been discussed publicly several times on this. So I went back and watched that meeting, just to let everyone know what I found on this thing here. But the minutes say that, it's on the last page. Here, Dave, I can give you my copy here. It says, Ms. Rosenblatt noted her disagreement. This is discussion about the Article 51 single-serving drinking water plastic bottle reduction bylaw petition article. There's a bunch of discussion before that. Ms. Rosenblatt noted her disagreement, stating that the article sounded dictatorial. Mr. Anzavino said town meeting, blah, blah, blah. a bunch of other stuff like that. You can have that, Dave. So that's the statement that Jonna had an issue with, saying that she did not actually say that. I went back and watched the video. It took me a while to find it. But what actually happened was Jonna did note her disagreement and talked about plastic bags, paper bags, and trees, and about cutting down more trees for paper bags, and was in disagreement. And then Lisa said, it's a tad bit dictatorial. So Jonna was right that she did not say that phrase. It was actually Lisa that said it. So, I mean, yeah, Lisa agreed with Jonna, then said, quote, it's a tad bit dictatorial. That's after Jonna talked about plastic bags and paper bags and trees. So I guess I'm looking for a motion with that change in there, where Lisa gets credit for that statement, I guess.
I make a motion to amend as stated by Vaughn just now.
Yeah, okay. So Ms. Rosenblatt noted her disagreement. We can say Lisa agreed with Jonna, stating, quote, it's a tad bit dictatorial. Are you good with that, Jonna? Because I know this has been bothering you, and I'm trying to resolve it. I've been trying to resolve it for almost a year now.
I know, me too.
So are you good with that?
Can you repeat it, please?
Ms. Rosenblatt noted a disagreement. We can put period then. Lisa agreed with Jonna, or the previous speaker, however you want to put it, stating it's a tad bit dictatorial, or stating that the article sounded dictatorial, but then Lisa gets credit for it instead of you, Steve.
Yeah, that's
It doesn't take out the dictatorial, it just reassigns it to Lisa.
To the person who
the
actually
correct
said,
speaker.
that's all I
And
asked
that's all
for.
that's
And
necessary.
that's all you've been asking the whole time. and
Exactly,
It
yeah,
took a
it
while to
just
find
took
it, but
kind
that's
of
where
a-
it is. And
Right.
so
We don't
And I-
have to be
You good with that, Lisa?
verbatim. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to be verbatim.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just blurted out the right, like she said dictatorial, for example.
not even
and I
getting
said, no,
into-
dictatorial, and then it's like you became the author, and it's like, I'm not the author.
I took out the whole pronunciation part.
I
I'm
just
saying
want
who's saying
to
it.
say thank you, Vaughn, for going to the extra effort to help me with that.
You're very
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Lauren?
It's the speakers.
I am wondering, for the future, can we, like, record instead of writing everything down?
Well, we're being recorded right now on Smack, but I'm
No,
just
but I mean,
saying,
for the person that's going to make the changes, going to go home and make the changes or whatever.
well, we could theoretically do that. Diane was kind of taking notes.
I'm
so
just, I'm thinking
Yeah,
of
in the
saving
future,
time
we-
for
Are you
everybody.
volunteering, Lauren?
It certainly sounds like it.
No.
In
Well,
response,
I'm saying, like, if we recorded the sentences and the changes, you know what I mean?
We could do
It might
that,
be
yeah.
easier, that's
What
all.
what we do is we just try to get the essence of what happened at the meeting in the minutes, and then if there's a problem afterwards, like we just went through on this set of minutes, it's corrected because it was reopened to be able to vote
Oh,
it.
I
Yeah.
get it.
I mean,
But
it's-
I'm saying,
yeah.
to save time, instead of people handwriting everything down and then repeating it, why don't we save time for everybody and record it for the person who's going to make the changes?
My fault.
we could do
I should have brought my laptop up here.
No, no,
It's
no,
in
no,
the
I'm
car.
not putting anybody down. I'm just saying, in the order to save time for
yes,
everybody.
we could do that.
That's all.
So
I'm not
327.
putting anybody down at all.
We could absolutely do that.
Can
So
can I
Ms.
make,
Rosenblatt noted a disagreement, period. Lisa agreed, stating that the article sounded dictatorial. We good with that?
yes, we are.
Perfect.
The only thing I'm not good with is, I don't think Carolyn was on the committee at that time, so I don't know if she should be seconding this motion.
Okay, so let's have a motion on the amended, then, with that amendment that we just discussed. Who's the motion
I'll
from?
make a second for, Lisa
made-
made a.
Lisa's making the motion.
I'll make the second.
Okay.
Okay, and you seconded,
John is going to second. Okay. All in favor?
Well, Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mark?
sorry to interrupt. Now, since we know that Caroline wasn't there, are we sure that everybody else was there? Because I do not recall if I was at that meeting or not. Could you double check?
Well, in reality, you don't have to have
do you
been
have the
there.
minutes with you? Because it's
could,
got the,
yes,
it's got the list on the top.
Absolutely.
Just to make sure who's here and who
Right.
wasn't.
Okay.
Vote correctly.
327, present, Vaughn Anokian, John Anzavino, Diane Dolan, Eric Anderson, Chet Collins, Laura Gunn, Elliot Hanson, Lisa Lyons, Dave Lurie, Lauren Morris, John L. Rosenblatt, and Mark Struck. You were here.
Okay, so,
Yes, Mark, you were here that night.
so Lauren, were you on the committee? Was she listed
Yeah,
there?
I just
Okay,
listed
the
her,
only
yeah.
one that's here tonight that wasn't is Carolyn.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And Arnie's not on here either.
Okay.
So,
all right, so they can both abstain.
okay. Okay, so you have a note on that then, Diane? You can. You actually can abstain. You can vote on it, yeah. Technically, you don't have to, as long as you know that that's what happened, yeah. Okay, so, anyway, but let's get this done, okay.
Sorry, I just sent you that email that I hope you can forward to all the Finance Committee members, including our new members.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but, okay, let's get to 327. We have a motion, a second on the floor with the amendments. We've narrowed down this. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, Carolyn and,
Yeah, I think the point is, Vaughn, that instead of rushing to an adjourned meeting, that we kind of have a chance to breathe and ask for things, because there are obviously follow-up things.
but I'm
that-
trying to get to the end of the 327. John has been waiting
just-
almost a
we
year to
already
get.
voted.
I know, we just finished the vote.
I'm
That's
just doing it because we always go to a quick adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I would
Adjourn.
like to make a statement as well.
Okay, Diane.
All right. After listening to what Ms. Lyons brought up about revenue, it just kind of jogged something in my memory that Mr. Rowe used to give us. I know because they were very difficult to read, pages from the Munis program. Everybody remember that? We used to get all kinds of pages.
Did you just say
So-
Munis publicly?
Can I say Munis publicly? Why
I don't
not?
know if you're allowed to.
Yeah, of course you can, of course
I'm
you
not,
can.
I'm not Dave, so I can say it. I think it might be wise to ask our new person, Biz, to print out, or at her best, I think she would probably know, now I'm saying too much, but anyhow, you can actually put a lot of that stuff in Excel spreadsheets and send them out to people. It would have been a lot easier if Bill Rowe did that years ago. But I think that would be something that you could probably,
We used to get quarterly, it used to be a quarterly report, and it would show how we were doing against the appropriation. It would say X number of dollars expended, and it would give you a sense of how we're doing right up until the end of the fiscal year. And I don't know if it's always been a request to get that. It used to be almost like autopilot kind of thing, and we don't have
I think
autopilot
Bill
now.
Rowe used to just automatically,
Yeah,
Bring
Roe
him.
used to just send them. Okay, so,
Through you, Vaughn,
Okay.
can I just thank Diane from the bottom of my heart for just saying that?
okay, so I'm going
And-
to ask Biz about quarterly reports. Is everybody
Okay,
good
I
with that?
Yes, thank you. I really appreciate that, and even just the discussion on it, because I don't know if everyone here remembers, we were told by our current town manager, the Finance Committee doesn't have a right to revenue, which was absurd. So I really appreciate you acknowledging that. Thank you.
Okay, looking for a motion to adjourn. Well,
oh my God.
Okay, so Lisa, you're making the motion? Okay.
I make the motion to
Carolyn?
adjourn.
Carolyn's the second? Okay. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, this meeting's adjourned. I'd like to thank the public for watching. Have a wonderful evening.